all, welcome to Let's Learn Optometry. In this video, we will see about the anatomy of iris. Iris is the colored part of the eye. It is a thin circular disc similar to the diaphragm of camera. The uveal tract consists of three parts: the iris, ciliary body, and the choroid. Iris is the anterior-most part of the uveal tract. It has a central aperture called pupil, which regularizes the amount of light reaching the retina. Iris divides the space between cornea and lens into anterior and posterior chamber. The average diameter of iris is 12 mm and thickness is 0.5 mm. It is attached to the middle of the anterior surface of the ciliary body. The iris is very weak at its root and can easily tear away from ciliary body during blunt injury to the eye. The color of the iris varies on different individuals and different races. The reason for this will be discussed later. We can divide iris into anterior and posterior surfaces. The anterior surface is divided by the collarette into pupillary and ciliary portion. The zigzag line shown in this picture is called collarette. The inner portion around the pupil is called pupillary portion and the outer portion is called the ciliary portion. Collarette. It divides the anterior surface of the iris into ciliary and pupillary portion. It is the thickest region of the iris. It is the vestige of coating of the embryonic pupil. It is the region where the sphincter and dilator muscle of the iris overlaps. It lies about 2 mm from the pupillary margin. Pigment frill. It is a fringe of black pigment at the pupillary margin. It is due to the extension of posterior pigment epithelium of iris around the edge of the pupil. Anterior surface. Ciliary portion. It has radial streaks. These are due to the underlying blood vessels. These streaks are straight when the pupil is small and wavy when pupil is dilated. Crypts. Crypts are depressions where the superficial layer of iris is missing. Crypts allow the stroma and deeper tissues of the iris to be bathed in the aqueous fluid. The central crypts are present near the collarette and the peripheral crypts are located near the iris root. Contraction furrows. These are seen as faint lines concentric to the collarette. It becomes prominent when the pupil dilates. Pupillary portion. It is about 1.6 mm wide and located between the collarette and the pigment frill. Posterior surface. The surface of the iris is dark brown or black in color. It looks smooth with naked eye. If seen under magnification, Schwalbe's contraction folds, Schwalbe's structural furrows, and circular furrows can be seen. Microscopic anatomy. We can divide the iris into 4 layers: the anterior limiting membrane, iris stroma, anterior epithelial layer, and posterior epithelial layer. Anterior limiting membrane. It is the anterior-most condensed part of the iris stroma. The color of the iris is also depends upon this layer. It has melanocytes and fibroblasts. This layer is deficient in the area of crypts and contraction furrows. Iris stroma. The stroma consists of loosely arranged collagen and ground substance. This layer has the sphincter and dilator pupillae muscle, sphincter pupillae. It is a 1 mm circular band of muscle located in the pupillary part of the iris. It constricts the pupil. Dilator pupillae. It is located in the ciliary portion of the iris. It lies in the posterior part of the stroma. The myofilaments are located in the outer part of the anterior epithelial layer. It dilates the pupil. The pupil regulates the amount of light reaching the retina. This is done by these two muscles. Under bright lighting conditions, the sphincter muscle constricts to limit the excessive light reaching the retina. Under dim light, the dilator pupillae muscle dilates the pupil, allowing more light to reach the retina. Blood vessels forms the bulk of iris stroma. The radial vessels of the iris are the branches of Circulus arteriosus major. Melanocytes or pigment cells are also present in this layer. Clump cells are pigment cells without processes. This layer also contains lymphocytes and macrophages. Anterior epithelial layer. It is the anterior continuation of the pigment epithelium of retina and the ciliary body. This layer is lacking in melanocytes. It continues anteriorly up to the pupillary margin as cuboidal epithelial cells and posteriorly as pigment epithelium of the ciliary body. The apical portion is pigmented cuboidal epithelium joined by tight junctions and desmosomes. Basal portion is composed of elongated contractile smooth muscle processes. The muscle processes extend into the stroma, forming 3 to 5 layers of dilator muscle fibers. The dilator muscle is present from the iris root to a point in the stroma below the midpoint of the sphincter. Posterior epithelial layer. This layer is the anterior continuation of the non-pigmented epithelium of the ciliary body and sensory retina. Pigment cells are of columnar type and joined together by tight junctions. A thin basal membrane covers the basal aspect which lines the posterior chamber. The anterior and posterior epithelial layers are positioned apex to apex. This is due to the embryological development. Apical microvilli extend from both the surfaces and desmosomes join the two apical surfaces. Blood supply to the iris is by the long posterior ciliary arteries and anterior ciliary arteries. Nerve supply. Sphincter pupillae is supplied by the parasympathetic fibers through the third nerve. Dilator pupillae is supplied by the cervical sympathetics. Do you know the reason for different iris colors? Is it only because of the melanocytes? We will discuss this in our next video.